What if we had like all black royal blue? That'd be crazy. Let's go, Nino! Y'all know what it is. Come on, Frank. Wake up, bring this energy. Yes, sir. One play at a time, over and over and over again. Starts with this group. Yes, sir. We all went through the process this week. Let's finish that by winning this. Bring it in, baby. Hey, it's time to go ahead and dominate all day. Cowboys on three, make it loud. 1, 2, 3. Let's go get it.
3rd and 5. Good protection. Pump. Checks it down in the left lane. Elliott's going to get a first down. 35-40. Nice downfield block. That's a pretty good result on a check down, babe. 32 yards. 53. Good operation. Palmer's kick on the way. Right down the middle and plenty to spare.
I run too fast. Right. I saw Shell spin out.
Yeah, boom, right? No, he's going to grab that drag. I don't want to trust that. I'm with you. Hey, points. That 93, Coach, 93 is unlocking in a Terrence like every time. On the snap, he's like playing in a Terrence. Yeah.
Snap one, my baby.
Yes, sir.
Let's be great for snap one,
man. Hey. Good communication, man. Elite, baby. Elite.
Talk.
Wentz is in an empty gun. 2nd and 12 at his own 46. Dallas blitzes. It's Neville Gallimore.
Oh, yeah.
Third.
Yo, welcome back to another podcast episode of Stars Talking Cowboys. Starring Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki is in the building.
You gonna dig this. Let's go.
Well, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello.
Hey, Rima.
Hey, Nikki.
All right, welcome to another edition of Stars Talking Cowboys. I'm one of your hosts, Sean Fox. We got Cowboys Nikki on. K Boogie will be joining us shortly, and this cigar smoking, maroon wearing.
Sean, you know you want all the smoke.
We have a Washington, what you call him, Nikki? Commodores fan on today.
We're the Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah, because we have the whole goddamn organization from Rivera, the executives, the players, the fans, everybody. So we're the Panthers.
All right. Well, we have a Washington Panthers fan on here. What's up, Dara? What's up, Alicia? So we're here to talk football tonight. What a weekend in football. But before we get into the Cowboys, Panthers deal, the big headlines in NFL this weekend was obviously the Miami Dolphins.
Uh-huh.
What a shit show. Excuse me, am I supposed to say that? I can't say that, can I? I can say it now.
You can say it now.
I won't be able to say it in the future. In the
Yeah.
future, I won't be able to say it, but I can say it now.
Right.
I don't know. I just think that, and I shared this with Nikki already. I think that comment by Steve Young in reference to Dak was a shit show. Are you aware of what he said?
No, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that in a few. Wow, Tua. We all saw what happened the Sunday before that. He got hit pretty hard. He walked off the field like he was walking out of a bar on a Saturday night after a few too many shots, and the organization said that he had back problems. We come to the game on Thursday night. One good takedown, and just from looking at it, I don't think that the hit was too bad, but one takedown, and the man is seriously injured.
Right.
It seems like there's reports out there that a couple of one CTE, CTE, expert said he needs to retire. The organization still stands by their diagnosis of him, and then they fired the independent doctor that treated him that night. So wow, Nikki, what's your comments on all that?
It was disturbing, very, very disturbing. It was disturbing to see it happen Thursday night. I mean, I'm sorry, Sunday to begin with. It was disturbing to see it happen to him Sunday, and then they goes and they say that he can come back and right back in the game, and then they said it's back problems. I knew that was a lie from the beginning that it was a back problem because I have back problems, and I never get out or get up with shaking my head and like in space and don't know where I'm at when I get up. You know what I'm saying? I have 3 levels of disc in my back that has to be fixed, and I still never get up and have to shake my head just to get up. Um, I think and first of all, let me say this. As a player, they need to learn that just because you know the money and things, your health should always be your first priority. And if the team is not going to look out for you and your best interest of your health, you have to look out for yourself. But as an organization, sometimes they have to look out for the player, save the player from himself because players want to play. I understand he want to play, and I understand he feel like he has something to prove because everything about him was he's always hurt. He's from college. He can't throw. He can't do this. He can't do that. So it's like he has something he want to try to prove. But everybody that watched that game that Thursday night knew that that man had a concussion. Then to come back Sunday, get hit like he did again, and for that to happen on TV, that was just so disturbing to see. It was just the way the way he laid there, the way his hands crimped up. It lets you know that he was severely injured, you know, and at that moment his life could have just totally changed completely from just that one from that hit. And for an organization that's supposed to care about their players as a whole, it spoke volumes on the Dolphins. It actually helped Brian Flores again, because Brian Flores actually said that as well, that they wanted him to make players play when they had a concussion, when they had an injury. Well, it happened. It showed, you know, and it's the coach for him to get up there and speak the way he spoke. It lets me know that what y'all did was wrong. If I was Tua, I would retire and sue the hell out their ass. But hey, Tua wrong as well because he should have let them know that he could not go back in that game. He should have told them, I cannot go back in this game.
Well, my feelings were I put out a post on Facebook. I said the man should take his 25 million and retire. And not for the brain stem, he actually would have died on the field. That season up was his brain stem protecting him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that what's worse than what we all witness is the fact that you would try to tell us on national television, God rest his soul, Ray Charles is dead and blind. And we all knew it was not a back injury. And to try to put that narrative out there. And then the coach double downs and says, well, he's glad that it's not anything more serious than a concussion. I was just like, wow. He minimized what a concussion is and what it does. We see these NFL players, like your guy, Marion the Barbarian, Junior Seau. We know that something happens to those guys when they're taking a lot of hits, and to allow that, to happen on a short week like that, like you said, it was disturbing. I hope that he has the right people around him to help him make what seems to be the obvious decision, which is to hang it up. He can't take another shot like that, in my opinion, and ever be the same. And then let's be real. We really don't know what those two shots ultimately, has done to him. So I was just, I really feel for him. And that's what happens. These guys want to try to prove, beyond all out that I'm the man and I can do this. But they need to kind of wisen up because that was embarrassing. And I don't often agree with Stephen A, but I definitely agree with Stephen A on this one. The cover up and the guy is the fall guy. You want to fire someone that's not really connected to the team, the independent guy. There was multi levels of people that
Hmm.
participated in that.
Multi, starting with the head coach, starting with the organization itself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And these doctors are paid by the organization. So who's to say that they didn't tell them to say that it was okay? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just too much. And it's just so much behind the scenes that we don't know.
well,
I'm
yeah.
sorry,
yeah,
Sean.
no, that's okay. My
Just
biggest
win.
thing, my biggest thing with this whole thing is that we're not stupid. So for that coach to come out there and say what he said um, and to stand by it and to continue to pretty much lie in our faces, that's what got me. We all saw it. There's no like you said, Nikki, you had back problems. I've had back problems. Rima, you played sports. I'm pretty sure you have back problems. When you have back problems, you tend to bow your stomach area forward and you lean backwards and you hold. So you're not falling forward with back problems. You tend to lean the other way. And if you're gonna go down, you're gonna go straight down. I've had back spasms so bad to when I went down, I went straight down. I didn't stumble forward. I didn't lean forward. I went straight down. And so for them to come out to say what they said, I wish that I would have been a reporter at that, on the at that game. I would tell them you a damn lie. Come on now, you can do better than that. That was just and that just shows you that the NFL is a business and they don't really give a damn about these players. You know, they don't give a damn about them. They're a product, and that's just what they are. So I really had a problem with how the Dolphins handled that situation, and that doctor that got fired, he was 100% scapegoat. That's what he was. Somebody else should. There's a few times where I agree with Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith said there should be more individuals that got fired over this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I noticed one of your guests posted that the autopsy with Marion ruled out CTE. Um, I, I'm a mental health professional, so I'm going to speak from the point of view that I know. Um, Decision making, that's the missing link when it comes to the CTE that they don't want to really talk about or speak on uh, because the decision, how he got to the heat exhaustion, uh, those kinds of things, because this is his normal routine, but inside of his normal routine, what are some of the things that he didn't do or didn't recognize? And I guarantee you, uh, if we could talk to him, he would tell us some of the things that he was going through: memory loss, concentration, and decision making. And I went to school with a lot of guys at Clemson that played 5, 6, 7 years in the league, and I've talked with them, and they have these residual effects, and they talk to me a lot about their decision making. They just and they know that it's messed up. They're like, I just decide to do crazy stuff. I'll get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and just go outside, but I forget why I got up and why am I outside. These are things that they report. So I get it in terms of the autopsy, but I think decision making due to CTE played a role in that.
And also, like Nikki said earlier, the players have a responsibility too.
Hmm.
They were talking about how that the players dumb down their neurological levels at the beginning of the season. They're generally asked a certain amount of questions, and they are asked those questions when they go through um, protocol. Jim Miller, I was listening to XM Radio, Moving the Chains, and Jim Miller says that they go in and they say, okay, we start with the letter A. Um, name me all and tell me what words come to your mind that start with the letter A. So the players will say apple, applesauce, and maybe another one, and they'll do B and they'll go down. So they memorize those, what the words of those tests. So if they go through concussion protocol, all they have to do is remember those few words. So the players have a responsibility in this too. Even the players on the Miami Dolphins. Our coach, he's messed up. You might want to consider leaving him, out the game. Um,
Right.
Same thing, referees. It's our jobs as referees to look these kids in the eyes and say, you know what, you might need to go to the sideline for a play or so, to check out and then talk to the coaches. So yes, ultimately the Miami Dolphins are responsible for this, but everybody else around them is responsible too. And
Yes.
somebody made a good point. They said if you were a doctor or a coach or a friend on that team and Tua was your son, would you have sent him back out there? I
And
guarantee.
it shouldn't even have to come down, to that. And that's what's sad. Shouldn't have to come down to that.
And that's true, Alicia. Tua was trying to prove himself,
Right.
and we get that.
I get
You
that.
know,
But at some point, you have to think about yourself and life after football. Life after football, And I had this argument with someone on, I forgot where we were at. Who was that we were talking to? Wasn't that Leo? I think that was Leo. That was like saying, oh, and I said, if that was your kid out there laying on that field like that boy was laying on the field, would you be sitting here with this same mindset? At the end of the day, they are here to entertain us. Outside of entertainment, and entertaining us, that is someone's child. That is a human being. Take away he out here playing football for show to give us entertainment. That's his life on the line. One hit away. They're always one hit away. That's why I never get mad. That's why I don't. I get mad about the money they get when they don't play like shit. But I never get mad about the money that they are due because they put their bodies, their life, they on the line to entertain us weekly, you know. And for an organization and a coach himself to take that situation that was so serious and downplay it, would you have done it if that was your kid?
Well, he said he'd never put a player, at risk. And I'm saying,
You
okay,
did.
if that's not risk, then what is it? Like
What
I
is it?
I wish a reporter would have been there to say, okay, well, what needed to happen for you to be like, no, you're not going back in.
Blackout? Can't see? Can't see nothing?
Yeah.
That's
So,
and
ridiculous. That is
and
ridiculous.
and now you see why players like Andrew Luck retired at the height of their career. You know, because of things like this.
But before we get K Boogie, did you hear what Joe Burrow said?
No, I didn't.
And that kind of pissed me off, and I like Joe Burrows. But he said today, he said, well, concussions is part of the game. It is. It is part of the game. We understand that. But the point is, if you have a concussion and you know you have one, or your coach, it's your responsibility as yourself to say I can't, but it's also your team and your coach's responsibility to say we're not letting you go back in this game. We don't think you're okay to go back into this game. They sacrificed this man to win and to stay undefeated and to beat the damn Buffalo Bills
Seemingly a meaningless game in the big picture.
in the big picture. The big picture. Total negligence, Kelly. Totally negligence.
Yeah.
All parties involved. And even Tua put it on himself. He put negligence on his own self because he should have been smart enough to tell them no.
I've not ever had. I had a couple of concussions playing basketball, and the headache doesn't go away. Like,
Oh,
surely he had a headache. Like, look, I can't do this. They might have gave him some drugs and like, hey, get on back out there. I don't know. It was just sad and bad for the game.
K Boogie.
What up? What up? What's up, man?
hey,
Sorry, man.
What's up,
Corporate
man?
America calls, man. I had to take this call real quick from
you
India, so it's
good.
all
You
good.
That's all right.
good. You
What's
good.
going on?
Nikki said you turned into her.
Nah,
Yeah,
just work related. It's all good, baby. It's all
I
good.
was on
Nah.
time. I was
See,
on
I can't turn into Nikki.
time.
I have no hair. I can't. No, it was all good. We
I was
good.
on time. I was on time.
You was
So
on
we
time.
have Rosadetta Grima on the line with us tonight.
How are
Good,
you?
good
Nice to
friend of
meet you.
Sean.
Nice meeting you.
Good people. Good people.
But I want you all to. I want to say this. I think it's a disservice to call us the Commodores. I mean, it's disrespecting the Commodores. I mean, the Commodores, a prolific group. They provided us with sweet sounds, memories. Like, we feel a certain kind of way when we hear Commodore. You don't get that shit when you hear us. I just think it's a disservice. You can call it if you want to, but I just think that's a slight.
Well, it ain't no different than when y'all call us some goddamn cow bitches and cow girls.
Damn.
Well, I mean,
It,
the Commodores are prolific.
Listen, I
You
have some
all
other
watch
choice words for the Redskins, but
and
not
it's
for this
just
with
show.
with
crazy.
the
It's
Panthers. The Panthers. We got the whole entire Panthers
just Panthers.
organization.
She
I
said
got
the
I got some
Panthers.
choice we for them. Uh, okay,
You can bring it on.
Commodores.
You
I
can
got
bring it
some
on.
other stuff.
You can bring it on. I mean,
Not on this show.
it's
This
3 against
G-rated
1.
show right here.
They ain't
This
had no
G.
damn name for a whole year, and that's
I'm
all they
sorry,
could
K.
come up with.
We're PG-13. We can't be G-rated. We're
We
PG-13, bro.
G-rated. Tonight
Okay.
we're gonna be G-rated.
It's too late. I've already dropped a couple.
We're gonna be
Nikki already
G.
dropped a couple.
Right,
Yo,
anyway.
how we 3-1 right now. We need to be. We playing with house money right now. There's no need for us to be R or X-rated. We all right. We playing with house money right now.
Oh
Right,
House
no,
right.
money.
So we were discussing the tour situation. So since you came in a little late, let's get your take on that before we move on.
I mean, to be honest with you, all sides are wrong. Let's call it what it is. I understand being a professional athlete is what most people aspire to play, especially at that level. But Tua has to understand, dude. I'm hurting my team if I'm playing hurt. That's the first thing. You're hurting your team. Secondly, you're hurting yourself in the long run. Some of the players should have been like, yo, he shouldn't even be out there playing. Some of the veterans should have said, nah, Tua, you're not going back out there no matter what when they was playing. You know what I'm saying? But they let him go back out there. The trainers let him go back out there. The doctors, the coach let him go back out there. So everybody, to me, is their fault. When you see a player that's actually visibly shaken up, it's not a back injury. I've had back injuries before. I don't act like that. But I had a concussion before, so I know. I said, no, he has a concussion. There's no
Right.
way in him. So just step back and say, listen, let's think long term, not short term right now.
He has
And to me,
25 million reasons to hang it up, in my opinion.
yes, he can. But because you train your whole life to be a professional athlete, I know what these guys go through. And it's like, no, I still want to play football. And he's going to still want to play football at the end of the day. At the end of the day, he wants to play football. So I fault everybody not just the players, the coaches. I fought too as well. They should have been like, listen, don't put this man back on the field. Are you kidding me right now? Look at him. He can barely walk. Forget it. The game. What about life after football? What about 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now? But nobody took that in consideration at all. They was just here in the now. They was just in the moment. Everything was in the moment. And that's one thing I'm like, if that was my son, I would have made a phone call, be like, yo, get his ass off the field now, or else we're going to have a problem. That's what should have happened. The coaches shouldn't have the last word. I disagree with that. The players should have the last word. You win this sport as a team. Sometimes the coaches, you can win in lack of coaching, and it's been proven. So to me, the veterans on that team should have been like, no, he's not going back out there. I don't give a crap about this game right now. Let's just put our collective heads together and go win it some other way.
That's
what
your
I
point.
was doing.
To your point, Kelly. We've all flown on a plane, and I was like, oh my God, he's flying back, because I have to chew gum because the pressure, builds up. And then if he's trying to pop his ears, I know his head has to be killing him. And I'm saying, damn, like, let him stay overnight. I mean, they have enough money. He can fly back. Give him a couple of days, or something. But it's just like, he's good. And he didn't even have an MRI at that time, so they didn't know if he was good.
See, that's why I like Jerry, because Jerry would have put somebody on a private plane. Said, nah, let him stay. We're going to put him on a private plane.
That was terrible. Terrible all the way around. They just dropped the ball every damn where. Just drop the ball.
Oh, wow. Daryl, be good. We have guests in the house. So, I mean, we shall see. We like somebody said, he had 25 reasons to try to 25 million reasons to try to play. No, he had more than 25 million reasons, because I say he had more because if it was me, I'd probably retire and sue the hell out of the Dolphins, the NFL, the doctors, everybody else. I would have sued for future earnings.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would have done. But that's not
Foxy,
me.
remember, look at us. We're mature adults. To me, he's a baby. He's a baby living his dream. You know what I'm saying? So it's different when you take a look at from his point of view. This is his dream. This is his family's dream. His family moved from Hawaii to the States so he can play at the University of Alabama. So he has worked his whole life for this. Injuries or not, these cats are built for this. They're like, no, this is what I work for. This is what I dream for. This is going to help my family's family. So we got to look at it that way too.
Of course. All right. So with that being said, let's get into the nitty gritty of why we're, that was an important, conversation, but let's get into the reason why we're really here tonight. And that's to talk about week 4 in the NFL. The Cowboys versus the Redskins / the Washington football team /
The
Commodores.
Commodores
Commodores.
/ the Commanders / the Compounders, as she say. / losers.
Exactly. So with that being said, we're going to give
if you guys want to go ahead and crown yourselves, go ahead and crown yourself, because you are who we think you are.
We're not crowning nobody.
We're not crowning
We're
ourselves.
not crowning ourselves. I mean, at the end of the day, we won. I mean, I haven't beat us.
If you all want to celebrate beating a desolate team and organization, have at it.
No celebration.
No, well,
we only play our schedule. We only play who's on the schedule.
You're lucky that didn't play. That would have been 40 burger on you.
So how about this?
I said 50K, Boogie.
Rima, if we would have lost and you would have been on this show, how would it have been?
It would be like I always say, it's not ever about that first game. It's about the sweep. And I say we won round 1, and I know, that last game, you all want some get back. That's what I would say.
Okay.
But
Well,
wait a
you
minute. Don't you have a music video right now?
Now, what I would
Isn't
say,
there a music video out there right
what
now?
I might say to you directly may be very different.
oh, okay. Oh, so we're being professional there. Okay. Well, I can
Yeah.
accept that.
Then
I
she
can
want to sit
accept
in the
that.
chair like she's
Because
so
because
professional.
Let me go put on
because
my tie
I'm a
for a
guest.
minute.
I'm a guest. But if you come on Sportsadelic, if you come on my channel, because we are PG, PG-13, X, triple X, come on my platform and I probably would say something different. I
All
mean,
right. So with that being said, all jokes aside,
Right.
give us your take of the game on Sunday. What are your takeaways from your team on Sundays, and what are your takeaways from our team from this past Sunday? You
well,
have the platform right now.
number one, I'm still livid about the third down and 3. There's 8 in the box. Clearly, they're coming. And as a woman, I've not ever played football. I played professional basketball. There's some understandings that I understand. And I understand as a guard, if I go trying to do a finger roll on one of the Birds twins at Virginia, the 6'9", that is going to get slapped up there in the stands. We handed the ball off. We had our tight end over here in the flats, wide open. Ray Charles could have seen him. The man would still be running. And I don't know if Carson Wentz knows the offense. There's no audibles. He's like a old boxing puncher. He just can't put it together anymore. I said this before. We digress every week. We look worse against you all than we did, in week 1, and that's not what you want to see. You want to be ascending, and I don't know. I think I told you, Nikki. I think we need to cease and desist with all football operations until we get an owner and a damn team. I mean, it's just that bad. I'm still going to be a skin to an end, a Commodore, whatever you want to call me. But we don't have a whole lot that we can build on. I didn't see anything that we can actually build on. And, as for you guys, I'm a realist. I tell it like it is. I told you opening up, I was outraged by a comment, which I guess we'll get to later, that Steve Young had to say. I don't think that, I know from politics playing college ball, if that coach wants you to be successful, they can set up every play and every opportunity for you to be successful. And I think that that's what we're seeing. Like the offensive line suddenly can block a little bit. They're doing things. It appears they're doing things for Cooper to be successful that you would think they would do for Dak since you're paying him $40 million. That's, the defense. There are some holes, in the defense. I mean, just like with Washington, if it's 3rd and 75, go to Fuller's side. And I think Brown, is certainly, a weak link back there. And as long as Diggs, plays within himself, he reminds me of Ray Buchanan for the Falcons. Big play Ray. He'll make a big play. He'll give up a big play, but you live with it because his good still is going to outweigh the bad. I think he makes big time plays, in big time situations. I give credit where it's due, but we don't have anybody that I can talk about like that. We have players, we have playmakers, but I don't think we have anything to maximize their potential right now.
All right. So we're gonna thank you for that. Objective. Uh, s- you know, preview of this last game. We really appreciate that. Um, let's go with you, K Boogie. Nikki looks like she's concentrating on something.
Listen, to be honest
I
with you,
was
I wasn't even
reading
worried.
messages.
I wasn't even worried. To be honest with you. Like I said before, we playing with house money right now. You're playing with house money. All you got to do is just basically be balanced on offense and let our defense cook. That's exactly what happened. We may have not had the sacks or the stats, but hey, we pressured the quarterback. We played defense. And that's one thing right now I will say the Cowboys are gelling because we're playing as a team, right? But like I say before, until Cooper Rush plays against a top 10 defense, we don't know who Cooper Rush really is. Let's call it what it is. So right now, we playing with house money. So to be 3-0 in these last 3 games is a beautiful thing. But now we play the Rams and we play the Eagles, right? So to me, I knew this was going to be an easy game, to be honest with you. The only thing I was concerned with is basically, Washington, they have 3 good wide receivers, and I was like, damn. So which one is going to eat on AB? And we all saw what happened because AB is the weakest link, right, Nikki? He's the weakest link right now. But that was it. I was just worried about basically, hey, this could go back and forth for the first 2 quarters, and then the Cowboys would take over the 3rd and 4th quarter. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't worried. To be honest with you, I wasn't worried. And I knew it. I said, listen, Carson Wentz is a shell of who he used to be. I'm not worried about that. If you pressure him, he's going to turn the ball over. He's going to fumble the ball. Or he's going to throw it out of bounds. Or he's going to throw it somewhere in the direction of a receiver to his feet. So I said, don't worry about it. I wasn't even to be honest with you, I was looking forward to the Rams and the Eagles, to be honest with you. I was. Because we destroyed the Redskins the last couple of times we played them. And there's nothing that the Redskins are doing right now to show me that they're better. Are they better than the Giants? No. They're definitely not better than the Eagles. So I'm like, nah, this was going to be an easy game. I was overly confident. I even told my wife that. I said, man, I ain't worried about this game. And I wasn't. Right. But I'm just glad right now that hopefully Dak won't play against the Rams because we're going to need him against the Eagles. Because I was looking past this game already. I'm going to be honest with you. I was looking past the game because we're playing with house money.
All right, Nikki.
What was the question?
You was looking past him too.
your recap from this past weekend. Good, bad, ugly. You know how you do it. Your honest opinion. Yeah.
Well, my recap for the weekend, I think overall, I think it was a good game. I'm not gonna say that I automatically assumed that we would win this game because sometimes these are the games that we have issues with. It's a division game, so a lot of times just because a team is not a good team, by the time when we play them, it seems as though they have a different mind space of this game because they playing the Cowboys. Also, I didn't know what Keelan Moore was gonna do because he's been up and down for us with play calling. And also with adjustments and doing things differently. So I didn't know what to expect from him if it was a scenario that it became a good, close, tight game. I also didn't know if per se if Washington so say took the lead, not the 1 point lead, but the lead of just a bigger lead or so by accidental turnover or anything. I also didn't know how Cooper Rush would fare well with that, with coming back from behind in the game. So it was a lot of things that I was looking for in that game, went into that game. For me, it's always gonna be Anthony Brown, whoever he's up against, because for some reason, as I told you earlier, Rima, his dude been in the league 6 years, and I don't understand what's so hard about turning your head. I just don't get it. I don't get it, and maybe I shouldn't have said last week that he's been playing fairly well because not the week before, but because Sunday he reverted back to the Anthony Brown that we all know. I did like the fact that we did make adjustments. I can honestly say I seen adjustments in the second half this time. I did see it from defense side, and I also seen adjustments from the offensive side. Anthony Brown is definitely the weakest link on the defense, but I'm gonna tell you who I feel like is starting to be the weakest link on the offense. and it's Dalton Schultz. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. For some reason, I don't know. I seen why we didn't pay him Sunday. I seen a lot of things from him Sunday that made me see why we did not pay him. His blocking is terrible. His blocking is terrible. He had two penalties that was unnecessary. And I understand penalties are gonna happen. I get it. But it's for me, it's who the penalties come from. That's a problem for me. Who they come from. Um, I think um it was refreshing to see Gallup out there. It was refreshing to see him be able to stretch the field for us. It was refreshing to see him get his first touchdown coming back off of that ACL tear. He played he balled, he played well. Um I just can't say enough about D Wilson. D Wilson has been setting the tone for this defense. And I know everybody has been Parsons, 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 in which Parsons have done his job. Parsons has lived up to everything Michael Parsons is. But I cannot say enough about how D Wilson has stepped on this field all 4 weeks and have played ball. And he have played smash mouth football. So I'm happy to see that out of him. Um D Law. D Law has I know a lot of people was getting on the D Law saying, oh, he not getting no sacks, he not getting no sacks. And but sacks is not all his position. So he has actually, I don't know if it's between Wilson, Parson, what, but D Law has also stepped his game up this year. It's kind of like some of these players were comfortable and they didn't have nobody behind them to push them to make them be the player that we wanted them to be these last past seasons, and they have it now. Like this defense is just so talented. Like and we have so much depth on this defense. Till it's like I can't afford to mess up because I might lose my spot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's playing in their head all the time. They balling. They balling. But the one thing that I do want to see us work on is the stopping the run. We're still having issues with stopping the run. That's the one thing that I'm still, and screen passes. We're still getting torn up by screen passes. That's the only two things that I see on defense that I feel like is still an issue. Offense, I think we need to continue to do what we're doing, running the ball. Trying to running the ball. They stack the box and you pass the ball, you do what you need to do to get the ball down the field. Because let's be clear, we're getting ready to move into tougher teams and top 10 defenses now. So like how those guys were open on Sunday, we're not probably going to see that a lot. But another issue with me for offense is not scoring in the red zone. We had too many trips to the red zone Sunday to only come out with field goals. We can't do that. We have to figure out a way how to score in the red zone. Um, and the one more thing with Kellen Moore, he pisses me off with that 3-and-1, and you pass the ball, and you got Pollard and Zeke as two powerful running backs. Quit doing that shit. Oh, I can't say that, huh? Oh, I can say it right now. Quit doing that shit.
So,
You know. Okay.
so you
Yes,
guys
sir.
know, you guys all know me. I'm a stats guy. I'm a numbers guy.
Right.
Um, and this is going to segue into our next topic also. Um, we only had 200 and let's see here, 285 yards of offense. 285 yards of offense that game. Um, Rush was 15 of 27 for 223. We rushed 29 times for 62 yards at a 2.1 average. Um, so, like I said, I'm going to segue into our next topic. For everybody who, thinks that this offense is playing lights out, right now we're not. Over the last three games, if you take the numbers for the last three games, we've rushed the ball 3 more times than we've passed the ball, which is not what we've been doing over the last couple of years. That has not been Kellen Moore's offense, and it hasn't been. It hasn't. It was. There haven't been pretty wins, but they've been wins, and that's where I was looking at. Alicia says each game scares her. If you run the ball and you play good defense, these are the type of games you're going to get. You're not going to get the 38s to 24s and 30 31s to 21s. You're going to get these games that are exactly what we have lately, the 20 to 17s. You know, we scored 25 points, but the numbers dictate that we were gifted a couple of those points because of the mistakes of the Commanders. Yeah, I was about to say Commodores again. Because of the mistakes of the Commanders. So we did not look like the offense that we've had over the last 3 or 4 years. So that goes into my next question. Will this offense be the same if Dak was in there?
You know the
Uh,
answer to that. You know the answer to that question already. You know
yes, yeah,
that
but
press.
but but our fan base. I'm not gonna say all of our fan base, but our fan base, and you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I do.
That if Cooper Rush wins the next game or two, that he should be the starting quarterback for the rest of the year.
Pay that no mind. Pay that no mind. We all know that if Dak Prescott is not a quarterback, we're not going anywhere. Like I just told you, we're playing with house money right now. We have not played, or Cooper Rush hasn't faced a top 10 defense yet. He hasn't faced a defensive coordinator who like to mix it up, hide what they're doing. So I'm saying the defense we played have basically been really vanilla. So when I hear fans say, "Oh, we need to keep Cooper Rush," and I'm like, "Yeah, we keep him in until that is 100% healthy. But after that, it's that team." Cooper Rush knows that. Everybody else knows it, but our fan base does not know this. So that's on them. I'm not arguing with them no more. That's another thing too. I'm like, you know what? If you guys love basically Cooper Rush, that's fine. But also understand that if that loses, we lose too. So they need to understand that. I just want that to come back and be healthy. That's all. Because like I said, you break down football into 4 quarters. First quarter of the season, we're 3-1. We got another quarter coming. And then in the next quarter after that, and the next quarter after that. So that's why I'm saying our fan base has to understand if that Prescott is not 100% healthy, we will not beat the better teams. The better teams with better defenses. Do you think right now we can beat 49ers? If we play the 49ers rather than the Rams, do you think we can beat the 49ers next week? No. Not without that Prescott, we can't. You think we're going to beat the Green Bay Packers with Cooper Rush playing quarterback? No.
Well, get
That
ready because they
Prescott.
finna say, well, he
So
didn't
what?
beat him in
Nikki, they
he
can
didn't
say
beat the
whatever they
49ers in the
want.
playoffs. I'm just saying. You know our fan.
They can say whatever they want, but he gives us a better chance. He gives us a better chance than Cooper Rush does. See, people have to
And to
understand
be
that.
clear, no one is this. We're not discrediting what Cooper Rush has done. We are not discrediting anything that he has done thus far. He has done exactly what he is supposed to do: manage the game. Exactly what a backup quarterback comes in and do: manage the game. But my question is always, if Cooper Rush is that much better and that much better that people want him to be and think they want to see, why did we draft that? He was already on the team. Why just he was already on the team when we drafted Dak. So if everyone feel like he is that much better and he should take that job or however people want to put it, why was he still on the team as a backup quarterback when we drafted Dak? Why, when Romo went down, we went out and got another quarterback? He was on the team. Why did we go get another quarterback? He was on the team or whatever. And and that's true. And I have said that more than once. Dak has to play consistent football as well. Dak is not getting a pass for anything because as the starting quarterback of this team, as the $40 million quarterback of this team, we want him to step on the field, play, and do his job. But at the same time, you have to look at all the other pieces around that. It's not just what that get on the field and do. When you don't have an O line, when you don't have a running game, when you don't have, and you make your quarterback throw 40, 50, 60 times a game, what do you expect? Things like that is going to happen. Defense wasn't playing the level of defense that they're playing now. How many times Dak broke his ankle against the Giants? Why? Because we didn't have a defense. Every time we scored, and it was a bad Giants team. Every time we scored, they scored. Every time we scored, they scored. He broke his ankle running, trying to keep us ahead or keep us in the game because we didn't have a defense that can stop anything. We have that now. So maybe now we can find a balance. Maybe he can find a balance. Kellen Moore has to find a balance. Everybody's so quick to say, what Dak didn't do, but damn, what the coaches didn't do, what the team didn't do. Yes, he's the leader of the team. Yes, he's supposed to be the one that say, if this ain't right, I'm gonna step in as the quarterback, and I need to do this. I need to do this. I got to do this. I understand that, but sometimes everything is not for you. It's not there for you. It's not there, and it takes a team to win the game. When they win the game, do everybody go in the locker room and say? Do they go on the TV and they go in the locker room and say, Dak won the game? What they say? Cowboys won the game, right? It was a team effort that they won this game. So only thing I get pissed off about is the fact that every time we win, it's a team win, but every time we lose, everybody put it on Dak. And it's not all him all the time. It's not all him. Dak have had his moments, but it ain't all him all the time.
But see, Nikki, here's the problem. Here's the problem right here. Our fan base is starting to listen to the media more than anything else. They listen to the media more than anything else. If the media brings up a situation between Dak and Cooper Rush, if Stephen A. Smith does it, even if Jerry Jones does it, our fan base listens to it. So sometimes our fan base is goofy as hell. Let's call it what it is. Some of our fan base is goofy as hell. They don't understand what we have in place with Dak Prescott. They don't. So now that we're winning these games, and I'm glad we're winning these games, but Cooper Rush cannot replace Dak Prescott. You cannot. I have friends that's Giant fans. I have friends that's Eagle fans. Before the Eagles started winning, they said, listen, you know what? I'll take Dak Prescott if you don't want him. I have these conversations with them constantly. It's just our fan base is the one that want to have all this controversy between our quarterbacks. It's the craziest thing ever. It's crazy.
I think, Sean, I think I told you this. I still don't think that you should mess with your quarterback's head. I don't think that Jerry Jones, just him making that whole statement about a quarterback controversy, I don't think that is a good thing to do. And that's just, my opinion, especially if someone's out, hurt, because nobody wants to get back from their injury faster than the person that's hurt. And then you got the owner of the team saying something like that. And so that still puts a thought in your head, just at a human level,
Right.
And he's winning. And then Dak's not a fool. He's out there saying, well, why you all don't block like that when I'm in the game? Because it's that obvious, to me. Dak, to me, is really no different than Tony Romo. Until he wins the big games, in those big time moments, we'll have these same circle, conversations. And I do believe it's been proven that defense, wins games, no doubt about it.
Yep.
But I don't think that you can simply rely on the defense. Your defense is excellent, but it's not a 2000 Ravens defense. There's only giving up 10 points a game. And I don't know. We don't know what Cooper Rush ultimately is going to do. But what I do know is Dak has to play. You're paying him too much money not to play. But I'm also a fan of offensive continuity. For whatever reason, if Dak can't, if he's not ready to play these next two games, and Rush finds a way to win those games, and then Dak comes back, it will affect the continuity. It will, because some of these guys, for whatever reason, they've kind of been there. When you have those number two guys practicing and playing, they know one another obviously better than your number one guys. But I don't know that. And then I mean it's the Cowboys. I mean we've not seen this with you guys before. I mean, uh, and I'm the type of fan. I'm the type of fan. I was a sophomore in college the last time we won the Super Bowl. And okay, we won some divisions here. I am so tired of winning a division and out in the first round. That's no longer enough, for me. I'm not going to celebrate it. I'm not going to whoop-de-doo. I mean, 2020, we won the division at 7-9. What does that say? I'm gonna tell you what it says. That division was pure trash. That's what it says. And what happened? First round. Okay, we're out of there. The same old, same old. 2012, RG3. Win the division. First round, out of there. 2015, Kirk Cousins win the division. First round, out of there. That's no longer enough, for me personally. Um, yeah, you talk trash and all of that stuff in good fun, but when it gets right down to the bare bone, it's no longer enough. And I think it got to be the same, for you guys. I mean, yeah, you got bragging rights when you win the division, but are you not tired of winning the division and then out, the first round? You have to be as a fan. You have to be, and right here today, I mean, I do believe I'm going to live to be 100, but I still don't think that Washington will win a Super Bowl if I live to be 100. I really don't. That's how.
Well, we never thought that the Eagles was going to win one, and they lucked up and won. So
Well, hey, I
you
don't.
know,
I just don't see it
th-
as long as Snyder's
yeah,
our owner.
yeah. You guys have a different, you guys have a different
Dynamic.
issue. Yeah, a different issue to deal with. You
Yeah,
you 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 have an owner that is,
we got
that,
sexual harassment. We got uh,
and he's a dumbass. So
drinking players drinking before the game, and then we going to Kroger getting guys out of the warehouse because they can carry a pallet of milk, and we just have just too much. I mean, it's comical. It's just I mean I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know, but I
So
do want to get into this because Steve Young made this statement that Dak Prescott needs to look and learn a thing or two from Cooper Rush. And I'm saying, oh my God, now here we go. Because at the end of the day, uh, Quincy Carter, I think, was the last African American back there, right? And we know, I don't know if it was cocaine or whatever, but once he's out of there, okay, Dak comes in and they didn't want to pay him. Let's be real, they didn't want to pay him. And now you got Jerry saying this, and you got Steve Young saying that. That messes with the quarterback's head. It just does. And coming off an injury, and he's going to be pressing, and stuff like that. I just don't think any of that's good for the team. But what in the hell has Cooper Rush done that Dak now needs to pay attention and learn something from him when he has the complexion for the protection and he's getting the offense and all of this stuff laid out for him? It hadn't been difficult for Cooper Rush to be successful with the plan that they put out there for him.
and that was my point that I was getting to. So thanks for bringing it. Going into my segue.
Well, that's what I do. I have
But
you
yeah.
back.
All right. One, if your ratio of one to pass to run is 1-to-1, then you don't have to do anything. If every other play that you have is run or pass, then and you're winning, then that's what you keep doing. You know, They have, and I don't. This term I'm about to use is probably not the right term at this time, but it's probably the only term that I can use to get my point across. They've dummied the offense down for Cooper Rush. That's what they've done. In this past game here, and I'm being 100% honest when I say this because I'm a football guy, you know, but I do numbers. We ran the ball 29 times for 62 yards at a 2.1 average for rushing. 2.1 yards rushing. And why do we get 2.1 yards rushing? Because Washington put 8 and 9 in the box every single play. Every single play they put 8 or 9 in the box. I was watching the game because obviously it's the Cowboys and I want to watch the game. But I wanted to watch and see how they played Washington played Cooper. And go back and revisit the game. I guarantee you about 70% of the time you can count 8 to 9 players in the box within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. If any other quarterback in the league besides Cooper Rush would have seen 8 or 9 in the box with within 7 or 8 yards of the line of scrimmage, they would have been 29 or 31 for 400 yards because that post to CeeDee Lamb was wide open all game. Those Michael Gallup, he could have. This is one game that we could have slanted them to death, and obviously we didn't do it. But and I'm going back to what Nikki said. I'm giving Cooper Rush all the credit in the world for managing the game on what he did. He has done. I was not expecting to go 3-0 with Cooper Rush over these 3 games because once teams get film on you and teams start getting your um, and teams
Tendencies.
tendencies, they make adjustments. Well, we all know that evidently Washington had no faith in Cooper Rush's arm because they put 8 and 9 in the box. So kudos for Cooper Rush for what he did. But I guarantee you, if Dak was playing, Washington would not have been playing 8 and 9 in the box the whole game. We would not have had a 2.1 average rushing on 29 carries. I guarantee that. For anybody who knows football and who wants to dispute that, I'll be more than happy to sit down and talk about this, you know, with you guys. Show me where any team rushes almost 30 times a game and they continue to rush. So our run to pass ratio over the last 3 games have been 1-to-1. We've ran the ball 3 more times than we passed it over 3 games. And when has Dak ever had an offense like that? Never.
Complexion for the protection.
And that's what I said. We've dummied down the offense to fit Cooper Rush's skill set. Why can't our offensive coordinator continue to do the same thing when Dak is in the game?
Well,
How many?
isn't that what the Ravens have done with Lamar Jackson? They have created an offense for his skill set.
That fits him. Correct.
Yeah.
Now, I'm taking Washington out of it because there are no skill sets. I don't know what we could do, with Wentz. But when you look at most of these quarterbacks in the NFL, the scheme is geared toward their skill set. And that's the first thing I noticed out the gate. That very first game against Cincinnati, I said, you know what? They're doing something different here for this guy. And again, I'm not a football player or whatever. I'm just looking at the common sense. I'm saying, oh, okay, that's how they doing it. Okay.
But they had to, though. Cooper Rush is not Dak Prescott.
Well, according
Cooper
to
Rush,
Steve Young, he's better. So
nah, Steve, that's just the media. That's why I made that comment earlier about the media and their narratives. That's a media-driven narrative right there. And I'll let Steve Young talk all day. He wants to talk, let him talk. Stephen A., everybody can talk. But we have to do our homework. We have to study to make sure that what they're saying is not true. We have to do due diligence and study certain things, study certain traits, study the game film, do whatever. So we know when we're looking at this football team and we're looking at basically what's going on TV or in person, what we're seeing is actually true. That's why I don't believe nothing the media says. I take the media out of it. I know what the media is capable of doing. I take them out of it. Why? Because I study X's and O's. I study the game. Football is about matchups right now, right? Sports about matchups, period.
Yeah, but K Boogie, I think what we're saying is it is true what they're saying if the organization and the offensive coordinator sets it up that way and he doesn't do it for Dak, then it becomes true.
But some of it can be Dak's fault. Wait, hold on for a second. But Dak himself have to say, listen, because we talked about this 2 shows ago. I said the only thing I want Dak to say, go to Kellen Moore and say, listen, let's run these plays because I'm comfortable running these plays and I'm more successful running these plays. Everybody else can do it. Why Dak can't do it? Just go to Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy and say, listen, I want to run these sets of plays. We're more successful running these plays, and that's that. Kellen Moore had to dummy down the playbook for Cooper Rush. And don't forget, when these other defenses start to have film on Cooper Rush and playing against better defenses, we're going to see. Hopefully we can still win the game, but hopefully we see how well Cooper Rush is doing. And I hate saying that. I hate saying that because I'm a Cowboy fan, 45, 47 years being a Cowboy fan. I love my Cowboys, right? I love my team. So the division that we have as fans, it kills me. But to being a realist about this whole thing, we dummied down the playbook against 3 teams that have the bottom echelon of defense. You have to remember that. These are not top-tier defenses at all that Cooper Rush is facing. And they dummied down the playbook for him. So when I see certain things, when I hear Steve Young, I say, let him talk. We can see right now that these defenses are not equipped with high-level players, right? So let them talk. That's all I'm saying is just let them talk. The proof is in the pudding. I see what they're doing. I see the narrative already.
But to your point, Fox, that's what's mind-boggling and scary about 2.1 yards per carry, because it is not a top 10 defense by no means. Like, we are horrible on the run, absolutely horrible against the run, and that offensive production still lets you know that the blocking is still not there, because they should have.
Well, it can't be there if you got 8 and 9 in the box every play.
Right.
You know, and that's where, football's entertainment. It's entertainment for most fans. For us on this panel, and for those who are in that chat that we're in, and I'm glad Cool is in that chat with us. We talk football every single day. I might not comment in that chat every day, but I read every single, comment that's made. There are fans of the game. No, there's fans of teams, and then there's fans of the game. When you're fans of the game, then you can see that a 2.1, as Remus said, a 2.1 rushing average is not good on 29 carries. Usually a 29 carry team, you're rushing for almost 200 yards. We stayed the course with that run game because Cooper Rush was in the game. If Dak was in that game, and I'm not saying that Dak would have lit up Washington, but the way the defense was set up against us, that should have been a passing game. Any top 15 quarterback in the league would have had close to, and if they didn't make any adjustments with 8 or 9 in the box, would have had close to 400 yards passing. And that goes back to K Boogie's comment about go back and do the research and study yourself. You cannot go in and say, "Oh my God, Cooper Rush Cooper Rush has, he's won us 3 straight games, and oh my God, he needs to be the quarterback for the rest of the season.
Right.
When you are 15 of 27 for 223 yards, you led an offense that had less than 300 yards of offense. That's all I'm saying as a football fan of the game. So
Yeah, like I said, we playing with house money right now. We winning.
yeah,
That's the most important thing. The divisiveness between the fan bases, I could do without, but it is what it is because most of it's generated by the media. And I wish that our fan base would stop listening to the media so much. And that's the truth.
well, if you listen to Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith, especially Stephen A. He is one of the most contradictory speakers of football that you ever meet in your life. On one point, he's like, "Oh, the Cowboys suck, and the Cowboys are going to do this, and the Cowboys, the Cowboys, the Cowboys." But then he turns around and out of the next breath, but they got a legitimate defense, and they're doing this and this and another, and I like the Cowboys. It's the fans I hate. Come on now. Hell, I don't like some of our fans,
Lord.
but they're my brothers and sisters. So, um, Jason
Well,
Peters, Nikki, what's your take on Jason Peters and how he's been doing?
Jason Peters. I like Jason Peters. I think he came in the game and I think he makes an impact off top. I know a lot of people were upset with him. I mean, not upset, but they were saying, "Oh, he 40 years old, blah blah blah." But he's serviceable. He shows you that off the rip when he steps into a game, that O line on it becomes different when he's in there. Um, if I would say, oh, I did say Schultz, but I would even say Connor McGovern is another weak link on the line. He's another weak link on this line. He's selfish charming, soft ass. But I've been pleased with Jason Peters coming in. I honestly think maybe, I mean, I understand that he is in rotation with McGovern, but I would prefer to taking him to start first, start and bring McGovern in only when we need to give Peters a break, give Peters a rest, when we need to rotate or when we don't want them to know what we're doing. But I've been okay with Peters.
I think he's definitely helped us in the run game. And he, like you said, he's playing. He can play multiple positions on that line. That veteran presence is exactly what we needed. But going back to something that Reeman said earlier, you have to get offensive continuity. So if we're going to play Peters, then we need to. I know they're saying they're playing him to build up his reps, but we got to find his role on this team and stick with it because later on down the line, we're going to have to eventually be able to pound the ball, and because I'm looking at our schedule here, the meat and potatoes of our schedule. Well, we got the Rams, we got the Eagles, and then we taper off a little bit with the Lions and the Cowboys at home, but then we go to Green Bay and Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we got the Eagles and Titans later on, and teams that have decent defenses. So we've got to figure out our identity now, um, especially from the running game. And I think that when Dak comes back, um, we need to keep that same approach. The play action pass should be hella good
Money.
when Dak comes back.
That's that thing. Play action. But before we finish talking about us and the Cowboys, Rima, what do you think before you leave us? What do you think for as your team alone? What do you think changes need to be made immediately?
Besides the owner.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think that the change that needs to be made is going to happen um, because of the money factor. I I always felt like it was Heineke's job to lose. Um, yeah, he's short and this, that, and the other, but if he plays within himself and he knows the offense, it's the pretty much that's what they did. They tailored the offense based on his skill set, and that's why you've seen the success from him. Um, we need some kind of spark, some kind of sparky change, and I think it's the quarterback. Wentz, his body language doesn't even show confidence, and then the fans obviously we letting them know live at the games. Uh, so I just we need we need the quarterback to change. We need a spark from that position, I think. And I'm gonna tell you all this. I had I had the same surgery, as Dak. Uh, I was shooting, and and it's not gonna be as easy to handle that ball as you think. Like I didn't actually be able to really dribble and shoot and all of that stuff until thank God it was a long 32 game season and stuff. It's it's not going to be just I don't know if he's going to be able to come back slinging it. And then look at the type of injury it is. He could always still do that same thing again. And then mentally, you always have to get over an injury here first.
Right.
But I still think if you guys run the ball, provided that the box is not all loaded up. But I think to you all's point, I think that's what defenses that know how to play defense, they're going to say, hey, Cooper, you're going to have to beat us with your arm. You're going to have to show us that you can do this. That's just smart, game planning, I think. And again, I'm with you, Fox. But if he gets it done against two top 10 defenses, um, that puts a lot of pressure on your continuity. And continuity is more important than even that $40 million when you talk about trying to win
Trying
games
to win games. Correct.
and get to a Super Bowl.
Right. I
That's
totally agree.
my thoughts.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you joining us
Thanks
tonight.
for having me. Hopefully, I can get you guys on Sportsadelic, and like I said, feel free to express yourself any kind of way that you can, because this is a more subdued version of myself, because I respect people's platform, and Nikki, thank you, for coming on the platform earlier,
You're welcome.
and Sean, Boogie, we'll get you guys, on there as well.
We definitely will.
All
We
right.
will. We
We
will.
Thanks,
definitely will.
Looking
you know,
forward to it.
thanks, for having me, and I will leave on this note. I've seen this from the Cowboys before, and so have you.
All right, all right, all right.
Okay.
Stephanie A. Smith.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all right.
Just wait, just wait.
Just
All
All
wait.
right.
All
right.
right.
Well,
Thank
thank
It's
you. We'll
you.
we'll
okay.
see you later.
We
All
All
right.
appreciate
right
you.
now. Have a good one.
Damn, that was a quick out, Sean.
I got tired of looking at that red. No, just kidding.
Hey, it's all right. Redskins, they came. It was a preseason game. It's all good. It's all right. Let's get down to the real nitty gritty now.
Right.
It's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just didn't think she wanted to stay on here while we talk about Cowboys anymore. So that's why I was like,
yeah.
let me get her out, let
No,
me
no,
give her out.
no. That's good. Thank you, thank you. That's why we are a team. That's why we're a
Oh
team.
Lord.
But it's good to get other fans' perspective, of the Cowboys. Because we have a little bias toward. Obviously, we have a little bias for our team. Now, we try to be very objective about our team.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to be realistic about our team. But it's
Mm-hmm.
always good to get another fan's perspective. Like I said, I live in Atlanta, and you know, I want to say, talk when people see me in the streets and they want to talk quarterbacks, and when Dak's name comes up, you don't know how many quarterbacks here that said that they wish they had Dak Prescott on this team here in Atlanta. You know how lucky we are to have him, and that's even when Matt Ryan was here. And look at what Matt Ryan is doing in Indy right now. We can see
Mm.
why the Falcons let him go.
They play tomorrow night. Matter of fact.
Do they? I play the Colts,
Yeah,
right?
they play.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Colts
the
and
Colts play
Broncos.
Denver. Mm-hmm.
Both of them have injuries on their teams. It's going to be interesting to see how the Colts will do against the Broncos because their Colts' number one running back is out.
Yep.
He's going to be out, so we're going to see, what Matt Ryan is truly about. I think he's top 5 in passing the ball so far in yardage this year, but in the fans in Indy want to run him out of town already.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
we say this all the time. We're not saying that Dak is a Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady top echelon quarterback yet, but we have an above average quarterback. You know, and it baffles me when people say that he's just an average quarterback or he's the Kirk Cousins of the league. Yet, on the same argument, as soon as you throw the numbers up on how accurate he is on certain things, you know, they want to say, well, that's only during garbage time, or that's this time, or that's that. They want to make excuses for his numbers, but we're not making excuses for Cooper Rush and his numbers, and he's winning.
It's all media driven. I'm telling you, the media, our fan base listens to the media before they listen to reason. That's another thing. They will listen to the media before they listen to reason. And when Steve Young talks, people listen. When Stephen A. Smith talks, people listen, actually. He's great at basketball. He's great at basketball analysis. But when it comes to football, but they still listen to him. And our fan base have to do a better job at researching and looking at the game through their own point of view, not everybody else's. And that's the problem.
I challenge anybody to watch a football game without sound. You'll learn a whole lot more about football without sound because you'll be actually watching the game versus watching and listening. So that's something that I've done a couple of times just to see the experience. And you get a chance to really watch it. You get a chance to watch the offensive line. You get a chance to watch because the announcers are going to say what they think is going to happen. They're going to say what did happen, and they're going to give their opinion of what happened. If you watch the game without sound, then you have to actually focus on visual, what you see versus what you hear.
Or just
But
listen to it with music on. That's it.
so you guys want to get into our upcoming opponent, the Rams? They're a one man team on offense right now.
Yeah, it's the Cup. I know their offensive line is in shambles right now as well. They can't run the ball. It's Cooper Cup, basically slant this, reverse this. So, hey, we should be able to beat the Rams. We should be able to if we come up with a good game plan against Aaron Donald. We don't want Aaron Donald to basically destroy the whole game plan. We have to actually key on Aaron Donald. I'm not worried about Ramsey too much, and I love his game, but he's susceptible as well to double moves. So we can actually game plan against him. But with the Rams, basically, we just got to worry about Cooper Cup and their tight end. The tight end catches balls too. Don't forget about him. Higbee, he catches a lot of balls as well. So you got to worry about Cooper Cup and the tight end. Akers can run the ball if he has lanes, but because their center position is in shambles, guard, and one of the tackle positions in shambles, we should win this game. I'm not going to say handily, but it's going to be close because we haven't beaten the Rams in LA or beaten the Rams period since 1990, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. It's going to be interesting, but Cooper Rush is going to have to come out and manage the game just like he's been doing the last 3 games. No mistakes, hopefully. And that's all we need him to do is just manage the game until Dak comes back healthy. That's it. I don't understand why he can't just manage the game and why he has to take over the game. We just need him to manage the game, no mental mistakes, no turnovers, and that's how we beat the Rams.
Nikki?
Um, for me, well, okay, Boogie pretty much said it all. But yeah, to beat the Rams, we're gonna have to score. We're gonna have to score. We're gonna have to score. Defense is gonna have to play ball. They're gonna have to play. They have been playing ball, but they're gonna have to actually play ball on Sunday with against the Rams. Cooper Cup, we all know what type of wide receiver he is. Definitely is gonna have to have the more talented cornerback on him. Definitely. Put Anthony Brown on him. Y'all might well go drinking at in the first quarter if you put Anthony Brown on him. Um, again, we have to force Stanford into some turnovers. We know that's what he do. Pressure. We know that's what he'll do. He'll fumble the ball. He'll throw an interception. I think Diz can get him a few interceptions. Well, I ain't gonna say a few, but he can probably get him at least one on Sunday and change that game. Field position is definitely gonna matter on Sunday. We had horrible field position this past Sunday against Washington, so we definitely gonna need good field position. I want to see Turpin break one. I want to see Turpin get down the field and get one. But also, if it's not going to be a chance of him getting past the 10-yard line with it, let it go over. Let it go. Don't try to make something out of nothing because that's what happened Sunday. Constantly tried to make something out of nothing, and we had terrible field position all game. Um, we want Rush to continue doing what he's been doing, managing the game. Don't force anything. Be very, very mindful of the turnovers. We need Kellen Moore to. This is the game of all games right now that we need Kellen Moore to call a good game, a balanced game, a disciplined game. We need all that right now. Also on the defensive side, Sunday they did good on penalties. Besides with Dalton Schultz on that line, so this is another game that We're gonna definitely need to be not have all those penalties. Sean McVay is a young coach. Sean McVay is a smart coach. Sean McVay, he knows how to get the best out of his team. He does. I can't still say that about Mike McCarthy. So we definitely have to go in there and we have to punch them in the mouth out the gate and let them know off top. The same thing we're gonna have to do with the Eagles in week 6. Punch them in the mouth out the gate and let them know we're not here to play. I thought in the game on Washington, like especially on one of those touchdowns when it was a 4th and 1, I felt like we should have went for it on that. That's the time I felt like we should have went for it because sometimes you have to let a team know that you didn't come here to play with them. Sometimes you have to let the team know that you're about business and that's what you came here to do. So we get in one of those type situations. I think we have that. We still have enough power in Zeke. We have enough power in Pollard to pick up that first down. That's where they earn their money at. That's where a running back's supposed to earn their money at in them type of situations. And you make them go out there and you make them earn it. And we just can't foot around with a field goal here, a field goal here, a field goal here. You can't have that many trips to the red zone and you're only coming out with a field goal. You just can't, especially with these type of teams, because anything that Sean McVay could find a hole in to exploit you, he will. He will. And I'm not sure right now that we could be a team that can play from down too many scores or score two and come back. I'm just on the offensive side. I don't. I'm not saying I don't think we could be that team right now to do that. And eventually, you don't want to wear your defense out. So I think also we need to control the clock. Time of possession is going to be very, very, very important. Time management, clock management is going to be very important in this game. That's it for me.
You know, the one thing that we'll have in our advantage is that the Rams aren't very good at filling up the stadium with their fans.
Yeah.
So the home field advantage, that shouldn't be a big factor in that game. We
Mm-mm.
have to play smart. We have to play, as Nikki said, we have to come out fast. And I would love for the offensive line to take the challenge of, if we're going to run the ball 29 times, to have a goal of 200 yards rushing, or at least 150 yards rushing. 2.1 average is not going to get it, and you're definitely going to run away from Aaron Donald. You know, so um, I want to see a good game. Um, like I said, they do have Jalen Ramsey, and he's not the Jalen Ramsey that he used to be. I'm not gonna say used to be. He's not the Jalen Ramsey that I know right now. But you best believe he sees Diggs on the other side of that field. He's gonna try to
He's
come out here
going.
and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna want to come out there and try to shine. So I expect this to be a good game. I don't think there's gonna be a blowout either way. But if we play physical, and that's one thing that I was glad to see over the last couple games, that we've been physical. Um, Donovan Wilson, oh my God, he's led the team. He led the team. This is the third straight game where he's led the team in tackles. The third straight game, and I'm not saying that he's all pro and this and that and other, but he is getting recognized as a good safety in this league. So the defense, they're carrying us right now. I wish the offense would step up and find a way to carry the team. We've been going through this for years. We have one side of the ball that's dominating. Um, just think of I can't remember what year it was, but uh, geez, I just had a brain fart. Uh,
2007.
no,
2007.
when we had our kicker, um, what's his name? The kicker that went to Minnesota.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I got a brain
Uh,
fart too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
but we had a year where our kicker was just our special teams was just amazing. Bailey, there you go. Thank you, Bailey. We had Bailey, um, and he was we could rely on him to help win those games, especially those close games, because we didn't have the defense, and then we found a defense, and we didn't have the offense, and then we put it all together, um, and we had the Dez no catch or catch. So I just want us to have a complete. I want the team to become complete. I don't want to give Mike Martz the credit for the offense or making a smart offensive change to the team, because they had to with Cooper Rush coming in there. But don't bring, let's keep this mindset. Let's be physical, and don't make dumb mistakes. That's against the Rams. They can be beat.
Yeah,
This is the time to get them while they're down. You know.
just can't take them lightly because of what happened on Monday night. That's the only thing. We can't look past the Rams either and look at the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday night. So we can't look past the Rams either. Just gonna have to play within ourselves. Don't turn the ball over, and just be more balanced on offense a little bit, because that's how you throw the Rams off. You more balanced, because that's what the 49ers did. You got to be more balanced on
Yeah.
offense.
Well, I don't think we can't be no more balanced than what we have been these last 3 weeks, and it's been winning. It's been working. So,
But you never know, because Gallup now is on the team. He's back on the team right now, and he opens up things a little bit more. And
yeah,
so Kellen Moore's like, yo, I got Gallup back. I got another weapon. Maybe I might open up the playbook a little bit more. And then you have the two rookie tight ends too, been playing really well. Dalton Schultz is probably still playing hurt, to be honest with you. You don't come back from a high ankle sprain or a knee sprain that quickly. I think he's still
right.
playing hurt. So they should use a double tight end set with those rookies a little bit more against the Rams. They should
Yep.
use that look.
And I think
They should.
Show's still hurt. I think he
Yeah,
is. And I think a part of and it goes back to what we said. Afraid to lose your job. You see Ferguson, he is on a tag, and you stand on this team rides on how you play this season. And if you're not in the game, you don't have a chance to showcase that. If you're not in the game, then you got these rookies behind you that's playing, coming in and playing like they've been playing forever, doing things that you haven't even done as long as you've been here. So on that sideline is in his head, is in your head. I need to get back in here so I won't lose my spot. You know,
Yep.
it's just that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. But right now he's the weak. Him and McGovern is the weak link on the O line. It is
But
what it is.
but this is my thing. If you playing hurt, you only hurting the team. You're
Right.
not making the team better. So you should,
Right.
if you really hurt and if you actually not effective, just say, coach, I think I need another game to get better. Because
Right.
you're only hurting the team. What if it's a critical situation and we throw you a pass and you can't lunge or you can't dive to get the ball? So he's
Right.
only hurting the team when you're playing hurt like that.
So,
I'm
Jared,
sorry. I
Jared, I
just had
want
to
you.
laugh.
Yeah, I know,
Thank you.
Jared, I
I'm
want you.
not even commenting on this.
Yeah. Um.
Thank you.
Show me. I want. You have to prove to me that he's better than Dak. If I want to say one weak spot in Rush's game is that he has too many balls batted down at the line of scrimmage. Um, that could be a problem, you know. So, but we're gonna.
I just had to laugh at that. That was so funny. We've been going through this thing for the last 2 days. Oh man, I'm in my hotel room in Chicago, and I'm looking at my phone and I see all that. I'm like, "Are you serious?" So I turned the phone off because I had to get some sleep. It was the funniest thing. I just can't understand. We so divisive right now. It's crazy. I don't know.
All right. So, any predictions for the game on Sunday? Let's put your predictions in the chat. We'll post them up here. What's your prediction, Nikki?
I said we win by a field goal.
Okay. Okay, Boogie.
I think this game we should win by a touchdown. If we play the way we're supposed to play, we're gonna win. We get in there with a win and go beat up on Philly. I think we win 21-14.
Um, I'm going to say it's going to be a good game. And the reason why I say it's going to be a good game is because I trust Sean McVay's adjustments more so than I would Kellen Moore. Let's see here. Y'all don't want to hear the truth, so I'm not ever coming back to this show. Y'all keep riding Dax suck. I mean, you haven't been listening the whole game. I mean, the whole show, so you don't know what we said earlier about it. We've already had this discussion before, so you're more than welcome to not come back. That's on you. Um, but
But the
you,
thing is, you don't have to tell someone that you're not coming back. Just leave. Like, just exit stage left. Just hit the button. You don't have to tell us that you're not coming back. I mean, that's the thing. People get upset with you for your opinion, but you're not supposed to say anything about their opinion. But they get mad with you because of your opinion. And I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I'm not going to keep going over and over and over again. No one is saying that Dak doesn't have things that Dak needs to fix. No one has sat up here and said that Dak played didn't play a good game on when we played Tampa Bay. No one is saying that. Everyone knows and everyone sees the same thing. The eye test is the best thing, but at the end of the day, it's people that's gonna find any and every fault with that because they don't like that. It's a difference if you're going to dislike him and you're gonna call things out on him because you're being realistic about it and you're being real about it and you're being true about it than other than you just don't like him just because you don't like him. And we all know. We all know why. It's all more than one reason why some people don't like that. Some people scared to say it, but I'm gonna say it. It's because he's black. No one ever thought a black quarterback would be able to be the face of the Dallas Cowboy franchise. And it is what it is. And it's not being racist. It's not being none of that because Cooper Rush is not black. He's white. But if you win in games, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what you do because I'm a Cowboys fan and I want my team to win. I don't care who's standing by. It could be Chinese standing behind that line. If you winning this game for us, win this game for us. But some people don't see that. Some people still want to base things based off of color. And the shit ain't cool. It ain't cool. If you want to down Dak for what he do on the field, do it. And that's no problem. But don't come on here because you want to down Dak, because you don't like Dak, because of what he consider himself is. And that's black. And the reason why I'm saying this, is because I know this dude Gerald personally, and I know what he is, and I know what he's about. I don't have a problem if you dislike Dak for what Dak do on the field or what Dak don't do on the field. Because at the end of the day, he is here to win games for this team, for the Dallas Cowboys. That's what he's here for. And if he can't do his job and it's time to move on from Dak, well then fine. Because as much as I like Dak and I might defend Dak in some things, I'm still a Cowboys fan. And I still want my team to win. I'm not going to sit up here and dislike a player because they freaking white, Russian, whatever they are. Whatever you are on this team, when you come to this team, you are a Dallas Cowboys. You have a star on your helmet. And that's what I represent, and that's what I want to represent. Winning for my team. I'm sick of this shit. Yeah, go ahead. Let me just go on mute because it's some ignorant ass folks out here in this world. And it's ridiculous.
So I'm going to even add to I'm not going to add to Nikki's comments because she said it all. But I'm a stats and I'm a numbers guy. Aaron Rodgers lost the first game of the season and he looked bad. Is he getting the same criticism about his first game of the season? Aaron Rodgers' record against good teams is way worse than Dak's percentage against good teams. As a matter of fact, the only quarterbacks in the NFL today that have a winning record against winning teams right now is Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady,
The GOAT.
and Kansas City quarterback
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. There's one more, but his really doesn't count because he hasn't, he's a backup right now. So there's only 3 quarterbacks that have winning records against teams above 500. So I'm like Nikki, come up with a different, and we know why, but quit using the same arguments because for every argument that you can come up with, I could come up with a rebuttal to that. For every commentator that comes out and says that Dak sucks, I can come up with a commentator that says Dak is good. It's all about opinions. And one thing that we like on here is we want to value people's opinions. But at the same time, let's talk sensible about it.
Oh no, this is crazy to me. I just don't understand. I mean, they have to understand too that if that lose, we all lose. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand this whole thing. Combative too. People combative. I'm like, come on, we starting this all over again. That didn't have a first good game. Okay, he played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well. The only quarterback who basically showed anything against the Buccaneers, Patrick Mahomes. You just named him. So I'm saying to myself, come on, the Bucs gonna make a lot of quarterbacks look bad at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it was only one game. Or there's a hangover from the 49er game, which we keep bringing up as well. And that's still in a lot of our fan base's minds. The only thing I tell them, just get over certain things. Get over certain things, or switch teams. That's it. Because I'm not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Nikki's not going anywhere. So I mean, all this hatred for one person is like, it's just crazy to me. That's why I gotta laugh at it and say whatever. I'm not gonna get upset. I'm not gonna do it because I know what my loyalty is. I can't speak for everybody else, and that's it. That's it. I'm not. There's no need to get mad. As long as nobody's getting personal, we cool. That's it. Other than that, whatever.
So I'm in so he leaves this show, and I'm gonna call him out. He leaves this show, and I'm in a fantasy football group with him, and he goes in the group and says, "Some Cowboy fans." I'm gonna read his actual comment. I wish he was still on here. Some Cowboys fans make me laugh, saying Dak is better than Cooper Rush. And then somebody comes back and says, "Me too, the Bandies." But he couldn't say it on this show.
It's all good. Hey, somebody in the that such groups says, "Oh, you see how you black people are? You hate.
Oh my God, I saw
You
that
hate."
shit.
I said that. I said, you know what? It's gonna take everything in me right now, not to curse them out, but I'm not
And
gonna
that's
do it.
why I exited because I knew I would have
I'm
been
not
in
gonna do
Facebook
it.
jail.
I'm not gonna do it. It's not. It's no. You're not gonna trigger me. I'll act just like this is corporate America, and I answered it the corporate way. That's it. He's in his feelings. I'm not in mine. It is what it is. I've been a Cowboy fan for, like I said, 47 years. I'm not going to sit here and get upset because you say something. But like I said, just keep it on a professional level and not get personal. Because I'll tell you what, you won't say that to me, to my face. You're going to say it basically on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And that's it. Case closed. Go Cowboys. Go Cowboys at the end of the day. Go Cowboys. Don't let the sweet looks fool you. These hands work. And that's all I'm going to say.
So with that being said, it's not old man time. We got a few more minutes.
We got time. We got time. We can talk about anything, man. We can talk about
So who's impressed you guys? In the and has this season not shown that there's really parity in the NFL?
too much. It's too much. I don't like it. I like to have the big bad teams winning and everybody else is trying to catch them. I hate the salary cap in football. Always have. I hate it. Because everybody picked the Chargers, right? But the Chargers don't look like, they're a top echelon team right now. I know they're dealing with a lot of injuries, but everybody picked the Chargers, and I'm looking at the Chargers like, damn, they got a loaded roster, but they haven't been playing up to snuff because of injuries and a couple bad breaks here and there. So I mean, I don't know. I just don't like all this parity that they have in professional football. I don't like it. I like when the Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the 49ers and the Giants and the Redskins, everybody was here on top. But they created the salary cap because Jerry Jones was too greedy, and having his side deals with Nike.
And now he hates it.
I know.
Now he wish he can go back and undo it.
I wish he could too. We probably have 8, 9 championships if his ego wasn't so damn big.
Wasn't so damn gonna big, right?
But hey, it is what it is. I mean, the Eagles right now, okay, they're the best team in football, quote unquote, right? They're playing the best, but we're gonna see in a couple weeks. I'm so looking forward to that game.
But have they really just been playing the best? Or is it the fact that the teams they have played have not played their best? Because clearly Sunday Jacksonville was the better team up until the turnovers. Up until Trevor Lawrence had the turnovers. I mean, they were up 14-0. And up until the turnovers, Jaguars would have actually blown their game apart for the Eagles. So is it just that they are falling on luck? That they're just falling on luck. I think we had that happen one year where it looked like we was just gonna lose these games, and then all of a sudden something happened in the second half of the game, and everything tilted, and we pulled out the win. I think that was in 2016 because the Giants was the only team that we could not overcome that on.
I know that's right.
Look at us against the Falcons. Look at us against the Falcons in 2017.
Yeah,
we was up 28 to 7 at halftime or something like. Well, we was up big, and they came back and beat us. You know,
Yeah, they
so
sure did. They
yeah,
sure did.
so it's I just wish I go back to us talking earlier. I wish that people would just understand it that football is not it's not a given. It's not a given. You can't just say that this team is going to do this team is going to do that. Hell, the New England Patriots went was it 18-1, went through regular season undefeated, and then lost the Super Bowl.
To the
So
Giants.
against a wild card Giants at that.
Mhm.
Mm.
A team that had
Mhm.
to go on the road 3 straight times to get to the Super Bowl.
Who the Patriots beat the last game in regular season as well, on the
Yes.
road, for
On the
crying
Yes.
road.
out loud.
Yeah. So football is it's the ultimate. Well, sports is the ultimate reality show. It's the ultimate reality show. So like I said, like we said earlier, we respect people's opinions, and I have
Most
no problem
definitely.
with I have no problem with anybody coming on the show saying anything that they feel like they want to, but come up with a valid reason instead of the same old tired ass excuses. If you say one thing and I come back and we come back and say, okay, well that's not true, then such and such and such. Don't get mad and 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 don't get mad and act all silly about it.
Yeah,
Cut.
like if you'd have said like Cooper Rush looks like he's in better rhythm with the wide receivers than Dak Prescott did in the first game, we say okay, fine. But don't just put on there, well, that sucks and this and that. Just give facts, give reasons why. Just educate us, and then we educate you right back. That's all we're saying.
And your opinion is your opinion. You feel how you feel about any player on this team. Like I say all the time, you have earned the right. Every person that's a Cowboys fan, we have earned the right to feel how we feel about this team, about any player on this team. We have earned that right. We all spend our money. We all support. We all been fans for however long we've been fans, for whatever reason we chose to be a fan and choose Cowboys as a fan. But to downright just not like a player because of their color or however, that's just stupid and silly to me. It's just ridiculous to me because I don't give a damn who it is. Just
It's
win.
just it's just like these are some of our fan base is doing exactly what the rest of the NFL is saying. Well, they don't like the Cowboys because we always talk about our rings. Well, who brings up our rings before we do? Other people do.
Mhm.
You guys ain't won nothing since 1985 or 1995 or whatever the hell they say. Who brings up that stuff before we? They tend to real Cowboy fans don't come out and say, "Well, at least we got 5 rings." Not a real Cowboy fan because we want ring number 6 and
Right.
ring number 7. You
Keep
know,
counting.
that's what we want. You know, so I personally don't. Uh, I personally don't listen to that stuff. All I do is like I always do. I come up with these numbers. We said at the beginning of the show, and I'll say it again. Thank you, Cooper Rush, for being a serviceable quarterback for our team. We thank you. And for all the Cowboy fans that said our season was over with, and I think we said it on that very first show after Dak went down. It's a long season.
Yeah.
Anything can happen
Happen.
between
Right.
now and then.
You're right. I
Anything can
was.
happen.
Whew, I'm glad it's happening for us and not against us. Thank God. But hey,
Exactly.
let's keep the
Look,
momentum going.
we're gonna lose some more games before the
Hmm.
season is over with. We're not
Right.
gonna go. We're not gonna go the season for the rest of the season undefeated. We're not gonna finish the rest of the season at 16-1. Just like I don't expect. I was looking at NFL Network today, and they're predicting. A couple people predicting the Eagles to go 14-3 and 15 and
Yeah,
2.
you saw that, right?
I'm like, what the heck? You can't sit there and tell me that there's not going to be a trap game in the middle of somewhere.
Right.
You're not going
Right.
to sit there and tell me that somebody's not going to get injured and affect the game somehow. So the good thing about football is that it's 17 weeks. Well, actually, it's like 19 weeks in a football season because you got to add the buys and stuff in there. The bad thing about football is that's the shortest 19 weeks of the year.
Like I said, just break it
Right.
down into quarters. All you got to do is break it down into quarters. And then, hey, win
Yeah.
three. You end up at 12 wins. You go to the playoffs. It's that simple. That's all
Right.
you have to do. That's what I tell people. Just look at it, break it down into quarters. Don't look at the first quarter like, oh, we're going to Super Bowl. No, just break it down. That's why sometimes I just remain so calm. I'm like, I don't get overly up here and then come down. Nope. I stay even keel because it's 4 quarters in the season. And everybody just got to just maintain the coolness and the calmness and just let the season play out. Never. Never. I would never say, "Hey, we're going to the Super Bowl." That's Cowboy fans who really don't study the game and really don't know the game. They just want to have something to say, and then they make us all look bad because then other fan bases think we all the same. That's the craziest thing too. That's the crazy. You can walk somewhere. Oh, you're a Cowboy fan. Oh Lord, here we go. Like, what are you talking about? I never said anything about Super Bowl. Did you hear me say anything?
Or the next thing talking about the next thing that they say is that we're always talking about this is our year. I don't really see that from the majority of Cowboy fans. You see one or two individuals say it, and then we screenshot it and post it all over social media. So, like I said, I love football. I watch football on Thursdays, even though those are some of the worst matchups that they could ever put on football. Um, I love to watch football. I definitely love watching my Cowboys. Win or lose, I love watching my Cowboys.
Mm. Yeah, maybe in the near future they stop having these games on Thursday, even though we love watching football, because the players' safety and health should be priority number one. Should be, but because of the whole thing with Tua, I don't know.
Well, that's too much money
Crazy.
involved. There's too much money in it now. Amazon is paying
I know, big money.
big money to have that spot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's big money,
So
but the players' safety should be first. Should be first. Priority
it, sh-
number one. It should
it
be.
it should be, but as we seen in the case of Tua, it's not. Tua was the hottest thing rolling the first couple weeks, especially after that. Was it 5 touchdown performance?
Yeah, against the Ravens.
Yeah. So he was, you know, that that before that game on the Thursday night, he had to sit down with uh, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he's the hottest thing in the NFL at the time. And then look what happens. So
I know.
it is what it
Yep.
is.
Yeah, it is. It is
Yep.
what it is.
But hey,
Well,
we got
it looks like Tom Brady and Giselle's situation was a little bit thicker than everybody thought, huh?
hmm but that's goes again to people's speculation. People speculating. Well, I'm not gonna say speculating, but people not knowing what they everybody putting out all these facts, but not knowing what's really going on.
I still don't know what's going on.
Nobody
I, I
do.
haven't even I haven't even looked. I mean, she doesn't want him to play football. That's all I know. And he wants to continue to play football. So it is what it is.
And then my thing, I really don't even care.
Me either. Hey, they live a great lifestyle. They have a great life. They have wonderful kids. Keep that in house. We don't need to know your business. We don't. I don't care if we are they basically top echelon athletes or supermodels. We don't need to know their personal lives, do we? No,
But
no.
that's part of being in that limelight like
Famous?
that. That's part of being in the limelight like that.
No. Give me
You
the
know.
money and not the fame. I'll take the money any day and not the fame.
Yeah. Speaking of money, so the guy, what's his name? The home run
Are you talking about
and
Aaron Judge?
the ball, and we had that going on in the chat. So you taking money, or because Leo say keep the ball, give the ball to his parents.
Yeah, give me that $2 million, Judge. You can have this ball.
You're right.
Or somebody. Come on, you can set your family's family up with $2 million if you invest it right. Think about it. You can invest it right, buy some property, do some other things. You can live like a king or queen. I mean, I don't know. Those days of just giving the ball back to athletes now just for a jersey or helmet, that was long gone now. They're going to make a profit off that. But Leo is a different character anyway. Leo's just old school, he said. He's just old school. But hey, me? No, man. The highest bidder wants this ball. Come get this ball. Come
Highest
get this
better.
ball right
That's
now.
it.
That's right.
That's it.
Highest bidder. And that's it. That's it.
All right. Well, Nick, you want to talk about your event
Oh,
coming up?
Beach Bash, Virginia Beach, next year in May. Deposits is what, $100, I think. $100 deposit. October by asking for everybody to have at least a deposit in by October the 15th. And that basically is $75 a month. And you'll be finished paying for it by May if you do the $75 a month payment plan. Of course, 3 nights of fun. Come get away. Get away. It's not football season, so no excuses. All teams are welcome. Three, you know, if you missed the last one, you definitely don't want to miss this one. I would love for Tisha Hood. I would love for her to come, but she don't fly. So I have to, yeah, I'm put you over last Tisha. So I gotta figure out how to get her on the plane. Um, so, but other than that, yeah, just reach out to me, Candy or Sharice. Flyers are out there. We basically promoting it daily. So, if you have any additional questions, just reach out to one of us. Our name on there and our phone numbers are on there. And call me for that and not nothing else. No, just fair.
Oh, damn. Hey, baby, how you doing? All right. What's going on?
Oh yeah.
So
Hey.
I got a message today saying that the announcement is going to come out soon about our little deal coming up.
All
So
right.
as soon as we know, we will let everybody else know, and we'll keep this platform. But I'm pretty sure that we're going to be changing over to we're going to be adding another platform to us. So
Well, some
just
people missed it last week, Sean. So if you want to just kind of like give them another,
all right. So
what?
we're going to be expanding our show. There's somebody that's interested in putting our show on their radio platform. So once again, we're still going to be Stars Talking Cowboys. We're still going to be on our page and still going to be on YouTube, but we're going to be adding an additional platform, a worldwide network. So with that being said, you know, K Boogie and Cowboys Nicky are going to go famous, and I'll be the male
Famous.
I'll be the male Molly version of the show.
What? Yeah, because you
Ain't
always the
nobody
one that
gonna be
gotta break up
famous.
something. You see how that, like, kind of like when I went off a few minutes ago. That's kind of how Molly do. She be like, "Oh wait," when Stephen A. start going off about something like those type of topics, she be like, "Oh,
Oh
if
man,
you
y'all
shut
funny
up, yeah,
as
big ass, whatever." Just updated. Javon Curse is playing Sunday.
Okay.
I didn't touch on Wilson yet. I'm kind of 50-50 with Wilson right now. And the only reason why I'm 50-50 with him, because it's a contract year. Contract years, when players in contract years, be very careful. That's the only thing I'm saying. Is he better than Curse, though? That's the thing. He's playing lights out now, but having Curse on that field, it's a different dynamic as well. So I don't
And,
know. I'm glad Wilson is playing, but is he really better than Curse?
So, do you think it's a situation where Dan Quinn can get them both on the field at the same time?
Yes. But that
Okay,
means he might have to sit down Anthony Barr or Live to play that sub linebacker package.
I said live down.
I know you will. I know you will. I know you will. Oh, come on.
I'll say live. I mean, Barr is a better run stopper. Barr is better to get into. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the first 5, 6 plays of the game Sunday with the defense, all you heard was live on the tackle, live on the tackle, live on the tackle, live on the tackle. So I'm like, okay. But then it was a tackle at one point in time that I was like, you should have had that. You know, However, not knocking him for playing because as we know, this is the contract year for him as well. He's playing for another contract. Whether it be with us or with another team, um, or whatever. And for the most part, he has played a decent game this season. But if I had to choose between him or Boy, I'm taking Boy.
Wait a minute, I
Yeah.
forgot. Your other boo's coming back too.
Oh yeah,
Your
Cox.
LSU boo. So see, that's the thing. We
I
got
mean
so
not
many
Cox.
players coming back.
Clark.
We got so
Yeah.
many players coming back. What we gonna do? That's a lot of
Well,
talent.
the
Depth
thing
is there.
the thing I see is that this is turning into Seattle 2.0. You have a lot of those hybrid in
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
between players, those
Mhm.
guys who are 6'1", 6'2", between 230 and 250 that are long and can run. And we have a good problem right now. We have a
Yeah.
very good problem on that defensive side of the ball. And I know that we over the last couple of seasons we were like, damn, why aren't we signing this person? Why aren't we signing that person? But now if you see the big picture, especially on defense,
Yeah, we draft well.
Mhm.
yeah, we
Mhm.
drafted really, really well.
Mhm.
And it takes like I said, that Dan Quinn likes some hybrid. Yep,
Yeah,
Kelly, that's true.
he does.
So if we could just get that, what I love is the energy on defense. I
Yeah.
love that energy.
And I'm sorry, but Wilson has been that dude. That has
Yes.
been that dude to get that defense popping. He comes out with just so much energy off top. He's been that dude. And that's probably why right now he's one of the captains.
Yeah.
He's been the tone setter. He has been the tone setter. So I mean, hey,
Yeah.
we'll have a three-headed monster though. We'll have Kurtz, we'll have Wilson, and we'll have Hooker.
So
Kurtz
who's
did the same thing for us last year too
He
when he
did,
was
and
on a
I'm looking
contract
for it.
though.
And I'm looking
So
forward. I'm looking forward to it this year. I'm looking. Hey, all three of them. I mean, all both of them could be them tone setters. I ain't mad about it.
too bad they can't play corner.
can we get that tone setter on offense though?
Right? Can we get a
That's what we
tone setter
need.
on offense? Yeah, we can't ever have two things that match. We have all the Kool-Aid in the house, no damn sugar.
But that's what City Lamb is for though. If he can catch the ball, that's what City Lamb is for.
Well,
He
yeah,
caught well
he
Sunday.
did, yeah, he did all right Sunday.
He
But
caught
we
well
need
We
that
Sunday.
need
every week. Yeah.
But
we
we need
need
it
that
every
hundred
week. We need it
yard
every
game,
week.
2 touchdowns. That's what we need.
We
We
need
need
it
that
every
game
week.
from him.
But Gallup is back, so you know, can he cover is the question because we coming up in teams that pass.
Yeah, they got good tight ends. They have
Yeah,
two
they
good
got
tight
good tight
ends.
ends. Yeah, they do.
So
We're
this
gonna
gonna be
see.
interesting.
We going into that part of the schedule where we finna see everything is about to be tested. Coaches, play calling, players, everything is about to be tested.
Yeah,
So
Everything.
we,
especially that Sunday night game.
yeah, definitely. So we had that, when we talked about the first four games of the season, uh, two out of the three of us said that we were going to go 3-1, and I
Hmm.
said 2-2.
Hmm.
So we finished up 3-1. Um, so we have the next four games here. What are your predictions on the next four games? If we
Yeah,
taking K Boogie's approach on quarters?
because we have the Rams and Eagles, the Bears, and then Detroit. Still same thing, 3-1.
Yeah.
Same
I,
thing,
I,
3-1.
but I
But
hope that one. I hope that I'd rather take that one to a team we least expect rather than take that one to the Eagles. I want to beat the Eagles. I want to beat their ass. I'm tired. So they need to be brought back down to level. They need to know that they are still the bottom barrels in this division.
So the last four times that the Eagles have went undefeated for a certain amount of time, they still haven't won a Super Bowl.
er,
You know, so I'm not taking away from them. They're playing good, but they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're beating the
Hmm.
teams that they're supposed to
Every
beat.
the team they supposed to
yeah,
beat.
it's
That's
on their
right.
schedule.
That's
It's
on the
on their
schedule. And
schedule.
nothing you can do about it. It's on your schedule.
Yeah.
It's on your
So
schedule. It's on that schedule. And but it just goes to show you how bad Cowboys is hated because the Eagles gets all this glory for beating the same type of teams that we have beat. I mean, and one of the teams was just in the Super Bowl last year, which is the Bengals. We beat them, but they still saying, "Oh, the Bengals was buying the Bengals didn't have this, the Bengals didn't have that, the Bengals this, the Bengals this." They still found excuses of why we beat these teams when Eagles have played the same teams that we have played versus maybe one of them. Um, that what who the Jags maybe it's the only team they haven't played as versus that we played. So they all still won teams that beat teams that was under 500.
So you know what,
Yo,
King? This is
that's
I'm
foul,
I'm
King.
10 minutes past my bedtime.
That's foul, King.
Well, we
I'm
had 10 minutes interrupted because I had to give a damn speech about uh we had 10
no,
minutes
I
interrupted because I had to give a dang
actually
on speech.
I'm in a chat. Uh, I'm in a chat with old boy that left us because he said he was never coming
Gerald,
back.
put
Yeah.
me in
Gerald.
that chat. Put me in that chat. Invite me to the chat, please.
No, it's a fantasy football league, so I don't want to. It's just for those. But
Oh, okay.
but just some of the stuff that he was saying is some of the people pretty much are saying the same thing. That he 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 admits that we should keep running the ball and so forth and so on. So he says, well, here, I'm going to read this out. And I wish he was on here because so he could defend himself. Uh, I said, we changed the offense since Rush has been in. We ran the ball more than we passed. We had less than 280 yards of total offense on Sunday. Did Rush play lights out? He says we are a running team. I said, so, and then he said Dak is a passing quarterback. I said, so is that Dak's fault? Or is that coaching? Then they said, I blame Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy. So how the hell you gonna come on this show and say make your comment, but you go in this chat and you put the OA this on where it needs to go.
Maybe
So point proven.
somebody's paying them to come on the show and talk nonsense. Maybe somebody's throwing them some ducats. Maybe you never know.
Yeah, I really
Mm,
don't. I
I don't know. I guess I thought him said, but he get his shit together. Get your
You
Maybe
shit
know,
together.
somebody.
but that's why we make a good team.
Get it
You know,
together.
yeah, KB, he's calm, collect all the time,
Always an even kill.
always even kill. Me, I'm even kill until, you know, and
Yeah,
then
till you
Nick,
till you push.
yeah, and then Nikki, you are,
I'm just a cannon, right? Out the gate. Like
you're a
I don't.
firecracker. You ain't even
I
a
don't.
cannon.
I don't
You're
have
a
time. I
firecracker.
don't. I don't have
You're, you're
time to
f-
pacify situations. I don't have time to do it.
and
And
that's
I'm
why I
not
say,
saying. I'm not saying that's what y'all do, but I'm just saying like
yeah,
I just need to get straight to the point on their ass. I don't have time.
and that's why I said firecracker because a cannon's fuse is a little bit longer.
Longer.
Firecracker.
It's short.
Short
Firecracker,
short.
Pow.
firecracker is.
I know. Like, oh shit,
I'm more
what
of a
happened? Oh
cannon. I'm more of the
shit.
cannon type.
Oh
Right.
Lord.
Yeah. They have to get you there. Like K Wookie, it don't matter what you do, K Wookie. He just don't go there. Like he just be
Cause
like,
man, listen, we don't need that. We don't need that
I
energy.
think I
You know what
heard
I'm
you do it. I,
saying?
I heard. I think I heard you go off in the chat one time, maybe once.
Yeah, I
But
think I seen it
I try
one
not
time
to.
too.
I try not
once.
to lose my temper because I do have a temper. My
Yeah.
son and my wife would tell you, they be like, "What?" But on this show, I'm calm, cool, and collected.
No, but even people who are calm and cool, you can always tell when they're agitated.
Mm.
And just the tone of your responses sometimes shows that you get agitated. And you get agitated over stupid shit, not just when people are just downright stupid, then
It's
that's
like,
when you
Right.
get yeah.
I'm like, yo, what are
Like the
you?
guy, yeah, like the guy today, and I went back and looked at what you was talking about on the Dak thing. The first thing, well, black people don't like Dak. I mean, black people are always defending Dak or something like that. Something he said. And then your response came back. Me, I'd have been like, "What the fuck?" You
Just
know?
say, yeah, I would have went to the left. But they didn't been like,
Yeah,
you cannot comment anymore.
yeah,
I've been
You
in
know?
Facebook jail too many times, and I said, no, not this time. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna
yeah,
get me.
yeah.
Right, right. But the things happen. And I guess that's why we do make a great team because one, we
Exactly.
feed off each other, we bounce off each other. Two, we do know how to calm each other down and not let it be what it needs to be. And as always, I respect each and every one of you that take time out to come on this show weekly and
My
join us.
facial expression.
And remember, next week next week we switch back to Tuesdays. Starting next week, we're back on Tuesdays because I have starting a new class on Wednesday for my sports agent. So I'll be in class on Wednesday starting next week, and plus Sean to be coaching too. So next Tuesday we start back. Next week we start back on Tuesdays. Yes, Kelly, I am your spark plug because see they be trying to be like politically correct. So I'm the one that be like, oh, my aunt them be like, well, we the church people, we can't say that. I don't go to church every Sunday. Let me cuss them out for you.
You do go to church every Sunday though. You go to Cowboy church.
But you
I be
know
like,
what?
I
I gotta give it to you, Nikki. Though
I be
you
like,
know
You go to Cowboy church.
when we first started, you was in Facebook jail every other month,
yeah,
and knock on wood,
I go
you
like
have been
7 months. I go
yeah
7 months
Remember.
straight, good, and then I
yeah
go in there.
you've been doing good. So
Yeah, I'm
uh
I'm getting better with looking over stuff and learning that everything doesn't deserve a response and doesn't deserve your time or your energy. I'm getting better with it, so it's work in progress. I'm not going to say I'm all the way there because it's just something sometimes I just have feel the need I need to say or comment on. But
well
I'm
you
getting
know
better.
yeah you definitely have to keep your cool because you are the famous one of all of us. You know
Nah,
Yeah.
every time see you
Cowboy
you're
on Facebook.
Prescott.
all even kill.
No, you are. You know, you don't see us. You know, when people come to Dallas, they want to find Cowboys Nikki so they can take a picture with her.
I'm on
So
my ass behind.
She's at
I'm just playing
behind.
y'all. I'm just playing y'all. But
you got people on here calling you boo and y'all ain't getting divorced. I ain't putting none of them comments up today.
I didn't see them. I didn't see
I
those
ain't
Boo,
putting none of them
comments.
up
divorce.
today.
I didn't see
Let
those
me find
comments.
out. Nikki
Let
got
me find. Let
booze.
me.
It's not boo, but
Can I find your comment?
booze.
I didn't
Uh,
see none of
you
them.
ain't
Put
seen
'em
none of
up.
him. Let me find it. Let's
I was
see.
looking on the thing. I didn't see none of those comments.
I'm gonna find it for you. Let's
Shay, you
see.
just messy. Ooh,
Uh,
messy.
Mm,
uh,
damn. Let me find out. Nick got all
Here
these
we go.
booze.
Boom, there we go. I found it.
Y'all stupid.
Mm,
So I just wanted to
mm.
be messy before we get off this call
I
tonight. That's
sure did.
all. But anyway,
Cause it's old
thank
man time.
you. Yes.
Look,
Oh man, Tom, you
Look,
crazy.
see
it's all. That's
that's to
how you
get
get people off the phone.
see
Okay.
that's to get you back for saying I had the Sandman eyes. See,
Hey, once you
hey,
hit send, you better watch out once you hit send.
you can't mess with the person that got the controller here. You see this right
Right.
here?
Because how fast you clicked Rima off, I was like, well, damn, I was trying to still say bye. You was like, click.
Rima was smoking that stove. You like, yeah. Bam, she was gone. I'm like,
She
God
was
damn,
like,
that was quick.
go. I was like, okay, well, that's enough of devil's advocate.
Yep.
Oh
But
God.
anyway, y'all have a good night, everyone.
Yes,
Thank
you
you for
too.
tuning in. We appreciate you. As always. Yeah, there's so many other things y'all could be doing, but y'all choose to take y'all time out and listen and talk to us. And we appreciate every last one of your comments. So don't ever think anything you say or put up that is gonna be a problem or we're not gonna argue about it or it's what we do. We're gonna discuss it. We're gonna talk about it. We all have opinions. Now we might go in our chat and talk about your ass, but we I'm just playing.
All
No,
right.
Oh,
but we gonna
Lord.
let y'all. But we happy that y'all are here. Totally happy y'all here.
And we're definitely gonna need
Exactly.
y'all support when we go to this next platform. So uh, please continue to share, and share,
And tune in.
and tune in. You know.
That's right.
Uh,
God bless.
Thank
God
you.
bless everyone. Yes,
all
Shout
right.
sir.
out to Magic City,
There
y'all.
you go. There you go, K Boogie.
Hey, Boogie.
That's right. Shout out to Magic City. That's right. We in the
All
building.
right.
Woo-wee.
Well,
Well,
good
I'm gonna get me a
night.
Magic. I'm gonna get me a T-shirt. Watch.
Oh Lord.
Wear it on the show.
Wait, on the show.
I'm gonna wear it on the show.
All right. Well, good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
All right.
And
God bless
Nikki,
everybody.
Nikki and K Boogie, I will talk to y'all in the chat.
In the chat.
All
All
right.
right.
Cool bean.
Later.
All right. Bye.
Oh, we didn't play our song.